Welcome to the third part of inverse of functions. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to generate the inverse of functions or relation that is given to you as equations. In order to generate the inverse of equations, you have to follow these four basic steps. So the first is to replace the f of x with y. You need to solve the equation for x, switch the x and y, then replace the y with the inverse notation. So in this first example, we are asked to generate the inverse of f of s equals to 3x plus 2. So we need to replace the f of s with y in the first step. So y equals to 3x plus 2. Then we need to solve for x. So the way we solve for x is we want to move this this 2 to the left to be able to isolate the x. So this becomes y minus 2 equals to 3x. Then we need to divide by 3 on both sides to be able to eliminate the 3 that is multiplying the x. So now our x is isolated. We have y minus 2 divided by 3. So we now need to switch the x and y. So you are only switching the x and y. You are not changing any other aspect of your equation. So the y becomes the x and the x becomes the y. So this becomes x minus 2 divided by 3 equals to y. So now we need to now write our solution using the inverse notation. And that is the answer. So I need you to practice generating the inverse of a linear function by using this question. Example 2, we want to generate the inverse of a quadratic now. So just like before, we need to change the f of s to y. We need to solve for x, so we have to eliminate the positive 7 by bringing it to the left. It will become a negative 7. So we have y minus 7 equals to x minus 2 squared. So in order to get rid of the exponent of 2, which is the square, we need to take the square root, okay? So if I have 2 raised to the power of 2, okay, and we know that that is 4 because 2 raised to the power of 2 is 2 times 2. If I take the square root, of course, the answer is going to be 2. Why? Because the square root eliminates the square. So that's why to be able to get rid of the exponent of 2, just take the square root of both sides. So when you are taking the square root of both sides, always put positive or negative, okay? So we have square root of y minus 7, positive or negative, equals to square root of x minus 2 square. So the square root cancels the square. So now we have positive or negative y minus 7 equals to x minus 2, okay? To be able to isolate the x, we need to get rid of this negative 2 and move it to the left. It will become a positive. So we have positive or minus square root of y minus 7 plus 2 equals to x. So now our x is isolated. So we now need to change again, switch x and y. So this becomes plus or minus x minus 7 plus 2 equals to y. Our inverse will now be plus or minus x minus 7 plus 2. So that means this particular function has two inverse. So I want you to practice using this question on generating the inverse of a quadratic function. So in the third example, we need to generate the inverse of this rational function. So we need to change the f of s again to y. So y will be 2x plus 3 divided by x minus 1. So you now want to cross multiply. Then you just want to multiply across. So that will be y multiplied by x minus 1 equals to 2x plus 3, okay, because it's multiplying 1. So we need to open the parentheses by distributing. So y multiplied by x minus y will be equals to 2x plus 3. We need to move everything with x to the left and everything without x to the right. So this will become yx. So this 2x, if we move it to the left, it will become negative 2x equals to, and this y, negative y, if we move it to the right, it will become a positive y. So this will become y plus 3, okay? We have this x and x, so we can actually factor out our x. So I factor out the x, then I have y minus 2 left equals to y plus 3. So to be able to isolate my x, I need to divide both sides with y minus 2. Okay, so definitely y minus 2, we take out y minus 2. So x will be equals to y plus 3 divided by y minus 2. So let's do step 3. So step 3 says we need to switch the x and y. So it will become y equals to x plus 3 divided by x minus 2. So step 4, we now need to use our inverse notation. So, and this is now the inverse of our original function. I encourage you to graph all these inverse and the function and the inverse on Desmos using desmos.com/calculator. So I want you to find the inverse of this function. So thank you so much, and please remember to subscribe to this channel. Have a nice day.